How detrimental would it be if Harvard lost its tax-exempt status?
Oh, it would be devastating. It would mean that nobody who contributes to Harvard could get a tax deduction. It would mean that it can't invest in real estate and get relief from capital gains. It would set back the university. The university has two functions, basically. One, research, cancer research, Alzheimer's research. That should not be cut back. That should be maintained. The other is propaganda. Harvard has become a center for anti-Semitic propaganda in various departments, particularly the Divinity School, the Public Health School, and a few other departments that have become kind of hotbeds of radical anti-Semitism. All the funding ought to be cut back from those departments. Indeed, I don't see why Harvard has a Divinity School. The Divinity School is an absolute disaster, and the Public Health School has very little to do with health. It has to do with politics. But the schools that do research on cancer and on other diseases ought to continue to get funding. So what I call targeted defunding ought to be the policy of the administration.
So do Harvard's actions through all this surprise you at all? This all stemmed from the president trying to keep the campus safe and free of anti-Semitism.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. In the Harvard report, which I've read very carefully, they talk about a golden age, and that was the years that I was there. I got there in 1964, and I left in 2014. During those years, there was very little bigotry. But after that, starting in the middle second decade of this century, the anti-Semitism became absolutely rampant. It's, by the way, anti-Catholicism, anti-Americanism, anti-Christianity, anti-centrist or conservative, but the main focus has been on Jews in Israel. Many of the courses themselves, required courses, are propaganda mills against Israel and against Jews. Many of the teachers, particularly the young faculty, dismiss classes to encourage students to go to anti-Israel demonstrations. Jewish students don't feel comfortable on the campus. Many of them have been harassed, some physically injured, and that just has to stop. And it would be much better if the university did it by itself, and President Al Garber is trying to do that. He's a decent man, but the faculty, the left-wing faculty, isn't letting him do it. And so external pressures are really required, but they have to be targeted. They can't be directed at cancer research and other good scientific research. They have to be focused on the evils of the campus, and there are enough of them to be focused on.
Yeah.
From a legal standpoint, Professor, I mean, federal government money often comes with strings attached, often
Sure.
many strings attached. So is the administration's actions here consistent with that, or is there going to be some legal way that Harvard's going to be able to kind of squiggle out of this?
Harvard is taking very bad advice from radical professors, including some law professors, that are misleading them and telling them they're going to win the lawsuits. They're not going to win the lawsuit. There is no obligation on part of the federal government to fund or to give tax deductions. There's a case called Bob Jones, which allows the IRS to remove tax deductions based on discrimination. Now, the president's not supposed to play a role in that. It should be the IRS that does that independently. But Harvard's not going to win these lawsuits, and that's why I think it's sending out mixed messages. On the one hand, it's saying it's going to fight, fight, fight. On the other hand, it's hired lawyers who are conciliators and who are close to the Trump administration. The message there is that they're going to make a deal, they're going to negotiate, and they're going to pull back. And in the end, we're going to see some changes at Harvard mandated from external sources, and some things will remain the same. It won't be perfect, but it'll be a lot better than it is today, particularly for conservative students, Jewish students, Christian students, religious students. They really bear the brunt of this radicalism at Harvard and many other universities.